Singapore Airlines Flight SQ286 from Auckland International to Changi in Singapore on Wednesday the 26th of June 2019 on a Boeing 777-300, leaving at 10 past 2 in the afternoon, a scheduled flight time of 10 hours and 50 minutes. This is flight 2 of 4 on my way between Wellington and Dublin, and I'm super excited that I'm going to be flying Singapore business class. Alright. The domestic and international terminals in Auckland are not connected. You can take a bus or you can walk. Both take about 15 minutes. My baggage had been checked from Wellington all the way through to Dublin. With only carry-on and it being a lovely sunny day, why not walk? Also, this is the last fresh air I'm going to get for about 24 hours. So I stroll past the check-in counters and then I can see on the board that my flight's on time. Well, that's good news. I head straight upstairs and go through security and passport control, both of which weren't hugely busy and were very straightforward. And then I get dumped into duty-free, exit via the gift shop, always the way. I've got a couple of hours till I board, so I head over to the Air New Zealand lounge. I'm flying Singapore Airlines, who don't have a lounge in Auckland, but they're a member of the Star Alliance, as is Air New Zealand, so I can use their lounge. The lounge is light and spacious, not too crowded. Between 5 and 7 PM it can get quite busy, but it's just past midday, so it's not too busy at all. The food in the Air New Zealand lounge is consistently good. Nice fresh fruit, sandwiches, wraps. I make myself a couple of pulled pork bao, don't forget the steamed broccoli, before heading back to my seat. There's a few aircraft movements to look at and a few planes sitting at gates. I thought this one was interesting. This is Samoa Airlines. They leased the aircraft from Malindo in Malaysia. They had a 737 MAX 8 that got grounded, and now they have the 737-800 with Malindo livery. There it is, off on its way to Apia. Bye. But not a lot else was going on. I did catch this Thai Airways flight on its way out to Bangkok. I'd been planning to take this flight on my way to Europe in late 2020, but that was before everything got cancelled. Maybe next year. Maybe I'll do it next year. It's about a 20-minute walk from the Air New Zealand lounge around to gate 15, so about 20 minutes before boarding, I head off towards my gate. En route, I get some great views of my plane. I might have stopped a little bit to take more footage than I needed to, and when I got to the gate, I walked straight on. Oh, you can't time it much better than that. Gates 15 through 18 were built for A380s, so there's multiple air bridges, which means business class passengers and economy class passengers don't mingle. Well, not yet. So it's a short walk down the air bridge to the front door of the Singapore Airlines 777-300. And what a lovely welcome. I make my way past the first class seats, past the first business class cabin, and then I meet up with the economy class passengers that are boarding via the second door.
Hi, how are you? Good, thanks. Good.
I head down towards my seat and oh my goodness, the seat is amazing. I have so much space and the return at the end gives me so much privacy. I get my pre-flight juice and then we're pushing back.
Cabin crew are bound off and cross-check. Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention to the safety video which will now be shown. Thank you.
Please give us your attention as we bring you through this important safety briefing. To put on your life vest, remove it from the plastic cover. Place to the seat pocket in front of you.
We pushed back from the gate at 2:03 PM, that's 7 minutes ahead of schedule, and then we taxied for 16 minutes. Auckland Airport officially has 2 runways, but one of them, 05L23R, is permanently closed and used as a taxiway. Today we taxied from gate 15 of the International Terminal down to runway 23L, and we took off to the west.
Up your position. Thank you.
Auckland has just under 179,000 aircraft movements every year, which works out to just over 489 flights a day, which is one flight approximately every 3 minutes. That's reasonably busy, especially with one runway. tracked to the southwest out of Auckland. We turned to the right and tracked to the west over the Tasman, then to the right again and tracked to the northwest over Australia up towards Singapore. So let's see what's on the menu. A couple of hours after takeoff we had dinner, and before we came into land we had supper. Dinner started with a canapé of Singapore chicken and lamb satay, followed by an appetizer of hot smoked salmon and salad. Then we head into the main course. There was roast lamb loin, chicken biryani, stir-fried kong pao chicken or braised beef cheek. I went with chicken biryani. For dessert there was vanilla ice cream or raspberry and coconut tart, followed by a selection of cheeses, fruit from the basket. With dinner there was an assorted selection of bakery breads. And then there was some fine pralines to have with your coffee, and a coffee and tea service to finish. So it all started with a pre-takeoff juice, and then soon after takeoff I had a mocktail. All class. Then into the canapé. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but this is what showed up. It was slightly underwhelming for my first Singapore Airlines business class food experience. That's a mouthful. I'm gonna give it, I want to say 7, but I'm gonna say 6. 6 out of 10. I'm pleased to say that straight after that, things immediately picked up. Out came the white tablecloth, the stainless steel utensils, and the beautiful crockery. This is more like it. Here we go. Into the appetizer. Hot smoked salmon on a niçoise salad with olive tapenade and basil pesto. Never tasted so good. Oh, this was really nice. 9 out of 10. For the main, I had chicken biryani. It's an Indian-style braised chicken with saffron-flavoured rice, archer vegetables, raita and poppadom. I have to say it was delicious. It was easily the best meal I have ever had on an aircraft. Absolutely outstanding. Yum. 10 out of 10. From the bakery I had this wholemeal bun with pumpkin seeds on it and a garlic bread, because I'm a little bit piggy. There were several other choices in the basket and they all looked delicious as well. Obviously I absolutely bathed the bun in butter. It was very good. Yum! And the garlic bread was toasty and delicious and absolutely soaked in butter. Oh, yum yum. I'm giving the bread from the bakery a 9 out of 10. For cold beverage there was a very wide selection. There were a number of swanky sounding wines chosen by very important looking people, as well as a collection of beers and spirits, and also cocktails. A whole page of them. They'd probably make you something else if you could tell them how it was done. There was also the standard selection of non-alcoholics plus mocktails. Excellent. I had my juice and mocktail earlier, and with dinner I had both still and sparkling water. That's kind of fancy. 9 out of 10. By dessert time, I was super full. I went with the ice cream, and thankfully it was only a single scoop. It was super swanky vanilla ice cream. A single scoop, super delicious, 9 out of 10. Yes. Nice one. Fruit from the basket wasn't actually from a basket, it was on a trolley. There was a huge selection of fresh fruit, cheeses and crackers. I didn't get any cheese or crackers because I was so full, but I did get some fruit. I got some grapes and a kiwi fruit. The grapes were fresh and delicious, and I ate the kiwi fruit the only way you should eat a kiwi fruit. This is how Kiwis eat kiwi fruits, and this is how you should always do it. Always use a teaspoon to eat your kiwi fruit. Try it next time, you won't regret it. Yum. A huge selection of fruit, really fresh and delicious. 9 out of 10. Good work, Singapore Airlines. On the hot beverage front, there was a wide range of teas to choose from, and also a huge range of coffees. I got a freshly brewed single origin Brazilian coffee. It came with a chocolate. It was amazing. Good selection, great coffee. 9 out of 10. And then they came around with hot towels. Nice touch, Singapore Airlines. Okay, let's sum up as we fly over the Australian outback. The canapé was slightly disappointing. Kebabs, 6 out of 10. The salmon appetizer got a 9 out of 10. The main, the outstanding Indian dish, got a 10 out of 10. Boom! Bread from the bakery was a great selection, perfectly prepared. 9 out of 10. Cold beverage was a huge array of wines, beers, spirits and non-alcoholics, including cocktails and mocktails. That was amazing. 9 out of 10. The dessert was the awesome vanilla ice cream. 9 out of 10. Fruit from the basket, also a 9. And hot beverage was a huge selection of teas and coffees. My coffee was perfectly prepared with a little chocolate. 9 out of 10. The average for the dinner comes to 8.75. That's incredible. Nice one, Singapore Airlines. If you happen to get peckish between any of the meals, there was an anytime menu with noodles, sandwiches and a bunch of snack options on it. I was so well fed I can't believe I got a little bit peckish myself, and I had this bag of crisps. Thanks, Singapore Airlines. Right, onto the plane. This plane, 9VSNA, is a Boeing 777-300ER. The ER stands for Extended Range, meaning it has bigger fuel tanks so it can fly further. And it took its first flight in February 2015, making it about 4.5 years old when I took this flight. That's pretty new, and it's been owned by Singapore Airlines that entire time. According to this data at Plane Spotters, despite being quite new, it's already been reconfigured once, in June 2017. It currently has 4 first-class seats, 48 business class seats, 28 premium economy seats, and 184 economy seats. I was seated in the business class section in seat 20A, and what a lovely seat it was. Possibly the hardest thing to get your head around is just how enormous these seats actually are. There's only 4 of them across the entire width of the plane. I had 2 windows to myself. When I first got on board, I noticed this handy little cubby and stuffed my bag into it. I thought, that's super handy, and then I realised I have an overhead bin entirely to myself. There's actually a huge amount of storage. There's a space under the seat in front, and there's a little cubby beside you in the seat. There's this little cupboard with a door in the seat in front, and this little locker between the seat and the window. All in all, heaps of space for your knickknacks. There's a handy wee shelf for your drink, and it's well out of the way, so your chance of knocking it over is super low. I didn't knock mine over once. There's even a wee mirror, so you can tidy yourself up without having to go to the bathroom. The dinner tray is really large, but it slides away super conveniently into a space beside the seat. There's heaps of reading lights. On one side of the seat there's these 3 lights, and on the other side there's this one. And then there's another couple in the overhead panel. There's a bunch of outlets. There's an HDMI, a couple of USBs, what looks like an SVGA, and a power outlet that'll take any plug in the world. Amazing! The headphone audio outlet for the entertainment system is right beside your seat. Handy. The heart of the entertainment system is an 18-inch flat screen. There's a removable controller in the armrest, which doubles as a flight tracker. The selection of movies and TV shows was pretty good. I wasn't blown away by the choice, but I found plenty of things to watch. There's a number of buttons and controls on the aisle side armrest. There's cool buttons and light controls, but also controls for lying your seat into a complete lie flat bed. This is amazing! And the little cubby that I thought was for my bag is actually for your feet. And there's this little doodacky that you can hang your jacket on. That's handy. There were slippers, socks, and an eye mask. I was wondering where the little bag of fancy ablution stuff was until I went to the bathroom. There were lotions and potions galore in there, as well as combs, hairbrushes, toothbrushes, toothpaste, everything you could possibly want. Amazing! So a 4.5-year-old plane with a 2-year-old fit out, the business class seat is incredibly spacious and well thought out with incredible storage. I give this plane 9.5 out of 10. A couple of hours before we landed, we had supper. There was an appetizer, which was an antipasto platter, a main course of roasted eggplant, pulled beef brisket or nasi goreng. I got the pulled beef brisket on a brioche. Dessert was a honey goat cheese mousse, along with breads from the bakery, and then hot beverages. Out came the white tablecloth and the good silverware, and we're into it. The antipasto platter was outstanding. Every single component was delicious, except the olives. I don't like olives. But everything else was amazing. Loved it. 8 out of 10. Oh yeah. And then out came the brisket. I mean, there's a lot of meat there, and it looks pretty simple. Meat, bread, coleslaw, but oh, it was delicious. Delicious. Look at it. Bam, bam, bam. I just want to eat it again. 9 out of 10. Yeah. There was an excellent range from the bread basket. I chose this guy with seeds on it. Obviously he was better lathered with butter. Not too light, not too heavy, just right. 8 out of 10. Good bun. Dessert was honey goat cheese mousse with strawberry jell and pistachios. Sounds amazing. It wasn't as heavy as I was expecting for a mousse, and it wasn't light and subtle like a panna cotta either. It was sort of in the middle. So I'm going to give a middle-ish but good mark. 7 out of 10. Pleasant pudding. For the hot beverage, I chose coffee. There's a massive range of coffees available. I just went with whatever they had out the back. It had a good flavour to it. Texture made me think it was made in a plunger or French press. It was good though. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. If there'd been a chocolate with it, that would totally have made it 9. Well, overall, that was delicious. The appetizer, the antipasto, got 8. That incredible pulled beef at a brioche bun got 9. The bread from the bakery got 8. The delightful honey mousse got 7. The coffee got a rather outstanding 8 out of 10. That's an average of 8. Nice one. Well done, Singapore Airlines. Now my tummy kinda hurts. The crew came around with lollies to help our ears pop on descent. The only other airline I know that does this is Air New Zealand. I have to say these lollies were better than Air New Zealand's. Awesome. We flew northwest over Australia, then over the Timor Sea and over Indonesia. We crossed over the island of Java between the islands of Sumatra and Borneo. As we got closer to Singapore, we did a holding loop over Bintan Island. We then headed up towards the north over the Malaysian coast, a left-hand turn, heading into Singapore to the southwest. Singapore's Changi Airport has 3 runways, but only 2 are used for civilian aircraft. We landed on 20C, we left the runway via taxiway E7, and we taxied around the north side of the terminal, around to gate B10 of Terminal 3. Changi Airport had 382,000 aircraft movements in 2019. That's 1,047 flights per day, or 1 every 83 seconds. That's a lot.
Take care when you open the open compartment. And remember to take your belongings with you. It's been our pleasure serving you on this flight. Thank you for flying Singapore Airlines, a member of Star Alliance.
We landed at 8:01 p.m. and taxied for a whopping 21 minutes. We arrived at the gate at 8:22, 38 minutes ahead of schedule. Nice one. Alright, halfway to Dublin. I'm sad to leave my little cocoon of paradise.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
We arrived at gate B10 and my next flight was out of gate A4, which is about a 20-minute walk away. But I had a couple of hours to kill, so after one last look at my plane, I had a good nosy about. I really do like Changi. It's my favourite airport to transit through. I head over to Singapore's SilverKris lounge and get myself something to eat and drink. Not that I'm actually hungry, it's just sort of what you do. Let's sum up as I have a wee look around the lounge. The dinner, which included the best meal I've ever had on a plane, got 8.75. The supper, which included that wonderful brisket, got 8.0. And the plane got an outstanding 9.5. That's an average of 8.75, which actually feels a little bit low. I mean, I think I would classify this as the best plane ride I have ever had in my entire life. I guess sometimes you just have to follow the process, but Singapore Airlines, this flight was outstanding. Nice one. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and then watch every single video we've ever made. And every one we will make. Thanks.
Excuse me, is anyone sitting? No. Nope. Lovely.